Hey y'all, good evening. I can't stay long, but I wanted to touch on this subject. I'm gonna try to hit this subject up real quick and quit it because, honestly, I don't let people and folks in Hollywood, actors, actresses, and people that are mind controlled zombies that thinkly, they can't freely think anyway. Stuff. Okay, so I give respect to people that didn't let that system swallow them up whole. Last night there was this video I was going to look at about Monique responding to Kirk Franklin and the verbally abusive nature in which that he spoke to his son. Now, a lot of people, and see, this is where the Black community is going to have to really, really, really pay attention. Okay. And see, it's not with the people on the outside. It's the way that you are regarding and treating people in your family. This is what counts. You as a parent. So Monique, when you look at Monique, Monique is like she's like a mind controlled zombie, Hollywood zombie that would do anything for a little tiny paycheck. She ruined her career by making that movie Precious. She didn't have enough sense to understand that that movie was going to ruin her career. Okay. And the reason why is because it depicted the Black mother as being very abusive in nature to her children. This is the reason why that movie destroyed her career. And so I'm not surprised at the reaction. And see, Black people, they have a tendency to just accept this. But in reality, Monique sounded totally ignorant in her response to Kirk Franklin. I'm a mother and I have a child that's almost 21 years old. I have a 19-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And I can promise you that by the age of 16, with all of my children, I learned how to eventually communicate with them. And see, this is a huge problem in the Black community. A lot of these people in Hollywood that you see, they are strictly there to program us as Black people. They are. They get us to accept everything. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the lingo that she was using in this response. I want y'all to pay attention to the lingo that Monique was using in the response. Cursed out. Okay? Cursed out. There should be nobody defending somebody cursing out their children. The reason why Kirk Franklin's son exposed him is because of the negative way in which his father communicates with him still at the age of 33. And this is wrong. Monique, if she was any kind of mother, she would have had the balls to state this. But instead, what we do in the Black community is we accept degrading our own children. We accept being the negative people that, what we're doing, what Black people do as a whole, as what they think that we all do, is going to lead to most of our people dying. Okay, it's not going to help. Okay, telling somebody that it's okay for you to, hey, when it comes to your children, and even when it comes to the people that are close to you, for some reason, Black people have gotten used to the idea of trying to hurt and destroy the people that are the closest to them. And this is a huge problem. And see, this is the reason why Monique, within herself, was bad for the Black community because of that movie that she did called Precious. I have 4 children, and I could never imagine treating them that way. But yet, because this woman is a total psyop, I was attacked and even had white supremacists use that movie against me to say that I was precious, even though I would die or kill for my children. And in 2021, Hollywood is still spreading this ignorance to the Black community. I've been sitting back watching Monique for a while, okay? And this recent thing, what the whole thing with Kirk Franklin exposed was the fact that Black people don't know how to communicate positively to each other. And then it also exposed Monique and her ignorance and her example that she is setting for the Black community. Okay. I can promise you that as children of Black parents, we don't need that kind of negative reinforcement. We've been getting it our entire lives, and it has not helped. It's only hindered the Black community. No, you should not be cursing your kids out. You know what you're doing when you're doing that? You're cursing your own fucking family when you do that. I feel very blessed and happy because of my relationship with my children, because my children, extremely intelligent children, smart as fuck, will put me in my place when I need to be put in my fucking place. There would be no way that I would ever think that it's okay to be disrespectful to my own children. Now, if they were disrespecting me as the mother, I'm going to take responsibility for that shit, because if your kids is disrespecting you, it's probably because of trauma. You still have to take responsibility. So, by the age of 33, you should know how to communicate with your children. So any person that comes out, and any Black person that comes out and says, oh, he just had to cuss that little motherfucking bastard out, it's because you're mind controlled and you're programmed. You don't realize how devastating it is to have your parent treat you that way. And for them to curse you out means that they're blotting you out. If you can't even show respect for your own children, you don't have respect for yourself. This is the problem with Black parents, is that they will curse their children based upon either white standards, okay? What white people told you should fucking be angry at your children about, okay? White racists, or either some other bullshit that they picked up along the way. So I don't look up to any of these people as not stereotypes, as and you know what? Like I said, I've been hanging back as far as Monique and some of the movies that she's done. Monique is a Black woman that has never actually played a role that was worth somebody fucking talking about. So I'm not surprised that she would make a video in support, being totally ignorant, when she knows that she, as well as Kirk Franklin, negative images of Black parenting, period. So it doesn't surprise me that Hollywood would have her do that. You know what I suggest to Black people? Love yourselves. Love your children. We're not in slavery anymore. You don't have to sacrifice your babies to fucking crocodiles anymore. You better pay attention to what you do as a parent. And if you are a Black parent and you're not willing to die for your child, well, you're not a child, you're not a parent. because all of us are willing to die for our children that love them, but we know we don't have to. I believe that Kirk Franklin is a bad father because his son is 33 years old and he still doesn't know how to communicate with his own child. And this is a problem. This is a huge problem. I was like, oh my God, what is this garbage? The fuck is this garbage? That Black history and Black families and Black people have to be labeled as these awful, disgusting people with no morals and no happiness and no joy. It's disgusting. And she represented that in that video. She's going to go down in history as that. She sold out the entire Black race. Monique, I ain't fucking with her no more. She canceled as far as I'm concerned, because what's wrong with her saying to Kirk Franklin, hey, as parents, we're going to learn how to communicate with our children better. What's wrong with that? Why you couldn't say nothing real? Why you gotta be fake and shit? And then Black Hollywood tries to make their ignorant shit a part of Black culture. This is supposed to be a part of Black culture. Nah, you sounded ignorant. You sound like a non-progressive Black showing yourself to other Blacks. And so I want, when y'all, if you are an empath and you go look at that video of Monique responding to that, and I couldn't even watch the whole video. The ignorance was too fucking thick in it, in her response to Kirk Franklin. And see, this is the problem with many, many Black women, is that we don't know how to speak out when something is wrong. We don't know how to communicate, how to make things better. Black people should be raising their children in love, security, happiness. Instead, they raise them as slaves. This is not doing the Black community any good. It's just the truth. So I had to speak on that real quick. I don't give a damn if you like Monique. I don't care. She is a mind-controlled Hollywood zombie. She does not represent me as a Black woman or a Black mother, and neither does Kirk Franklin. Because if my parent talked to me like that at any age, I would expose it too. Because you need to learn how to speak better to your children. You need to learn how to communicate with your children instead of giving them negative reinforcements like they are fucking fucked up to the point where they don't know the difference. That's why your children are turning against you. And this is going to be a problem for you. And I'm tired of these ignorant ass people in Hollywood representing me. Nah, you don't represent me. A real woman would have came up there and said, hey, you know, Kirk, let's start figuring out a better way of talking to our children. Speaking curses over your children and wondering why they fucked up. He been talking to that child like that since he was a kid and wonder why he fucked. I don't know what's wrong with him, as I sit in his face and call him a nothing ass motherfucker. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I had to say that. I had to say that. That's Black power. That's Black love for me to be able to come up and say that. Start learning how to communicate. Start thinking more of yourselves. The relationship between a mother or a father and a child is probably the most precious, closest relationship ever. And it ain't even just about being Black, because we know as white folks that get abused by their parents too. Monique co-signed parental abuse, and this is exactly what I knew she would do. And that's why she played that disgusting role in that movie, Precious. Hey, Prince of Presents. A Black woman shouldn't have never took that role. No Black woman in Hollywood would take that role except for Monique. So we know who you are. We know how you are. And you're not no fucking role model over here. You don't represent my Black family or how I feel as a mother. Okay? Because you can't even talk to your children. And Kirk Franklin, we about to do a reading on you. We about to really break you down as to why you 33 years old talking about we've had him in counseling because you stupid. You fucked your kid up and then told him and then took him to counseling. You know, and see, this is the kind of blanket of bullshit that is being put over every Black person. You know what? I love my children. I love my family. I love the people that I love. You willing to draw blood out of my body for that shit? Because I don't think nobody's ready for that. I'm tired of these ignorant people in Hollywood representing me as a Black woman because she doesn't. And neither does Kirk Franklin. Neither one of them do. It shows how ignorant you are. I ain't even listened to the video. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. If you a Black person and you can't carry your family from that fire, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But cussing your children out, them supposed to be the last people what Kirk Franklin is doing. First of all, he's totally out of his element as a African American man because you're practicing a religion that enslaved your fucking people. So that's first of all, hon. I like the song Stomp. I liked it, but it was only because of the beat. As far as, you know, what you were talking about, I was stomping to Papa Legba. I was stomping to Oya and Yemi Ya. Okay, first, right? And then you sitting up there talking about you stomping, but you kicking the shit out of your fucking kids and you putting all that negative stuff into your children. And that's where you're making the mistake. That's why I said, Prince of Presence, we can't go based upon these Hollywood ass people. These people are meant to program us. That was psychological programming for the Black community so that they could stay ignorant as shit. But I can tell you, as a daughter and a mother, that man should have never been talking to his children like that. And what he should have been doing was apologizing. What he should be doing is admitting to his faults. That's what he should be doing. And Monique is the type of ornery woman that hates herself. This is facts. She's the type of ornery woman that hates herself enough to support that ignorance. No woman or father should be talking to their children like that. If your children are going the wrong way in life, what good is cursing them out? You're just erasing them. You're just giving up on them. That's all you're doing. You know what? Let me tell you something. I've cursed adults out. I don't believe in cursing children out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're an elder. You're supposed to be this child's father, especially. Okay. So I've cussed other adults out, but I've came back and apologized. But when you are a parent and you cuss your children out, you are blotting them out. That's the last person you should be cussing out. Okay. And then also, we don't know who these people are. It could be some fake shit. These people are actors and actresses. Do not ever talk to your child the way that Kirk Franklin talked to his child, or you will be cursed. You need to learn how to get through to your children. If you can't do that, then you're not even deserving to call yourself a parent. That's real talk. And I can honestly say that I have 4 children and 1 grandbaby, and they would never speak They would, first of all, my children would never have to worry about me talking to them like that. And they would never speak of me in that way. You understand me? And I think that Black people need to do better. Stop degrading your children. That's what they do. And it seems like Black people are not even ashamed of it. And this is a problem. Monique, we all feel the need to cuss somebody out. But when you cussing your children out like that, there's a real problem that needs to be admitted to. Okay? Because they are learning from you. You are leading by example. Okay? All right. That's all I got, y'all. That's the only time that I have. I got to go. All right, y'all. Peace and love.